All right, so y'all, this is number 7 out of 7.3, and it says use a t-test to test a claim about the proportion mean mu at the given level of confidence, alpha, using the given sample statistics. Assume the population is normally distributed. Okay, so they have here that the claim is mu is not equal to 26, alpha is 0.10. Okay, the first part says, can we find both the null and the alternative hypothesis? Okay, so the first thing we know that our claim says mu is not equal to, in this case, 26. Okay, so this is a claim. Remember, we're going to find the opposite of the claim. The opposite of saying something is not equal to is saying that it is equal to. Now, the next part I'm going to do is anytime we have the equal to, that is our null hypothesis. And the part that does not have the equal to is my alternate. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my choices here. I'm going to look at the ones that have equal to and not equal to. So choice C and choice D have the equal to and not equal to parts. So I know A and B are not going to work. Okay, so let's make sure we can match these up right. The ha is the not equal to, and the ho is equal to. That's going to be choice C, right? So I'm going to come back to my original problem here. I'm going to pick choice, I'm going to pick choice C. I'm going to check my answer, and we got that first part. Okay, the second part says, what is the value of the standardized test statistic? Okay, so let's see if we can find that part. Let me take a screenshot of this real quick here, y'all. Oh, this is my kitty. He wants my attentions. All right, let's see. I'll play with you a little bit, dude. Okay, so now we want to find our standardized test statistic. So let's see. The standardized test statistic, I'm going to pull up on the next slide, I'm going to pull up a slide that shows me how to find my standardized test statistic, and let me see if I can find it right here. This is how we find our standardized test statistic. There's a formula right here, y'all, and it's T equals X bar minus mu over S over the square root of N. So let me write that here. T equals X bar minus mu over S divided by the square root of N. Okay, what I'm going to do here, y'all, I'm just going to use the values that we have here to find my standardized test statistic, okay? So this is not really a word problem, y'all, because there's no context or anything here. So my X bar is a 28.4 minus my mu, which was 26, right? Over S, which in our case was 4.9, divided by N was the square root of 13. Or it's the square root of N, so it's the square root of 13. So I'm going to do this part right here, y'all, on my calculator. I'm going to show you how I'm going to enter it in. I'm going to do it exactly the same way. So on my calculator, let me get rid of all this here. I don't need it. I'm going to go parentheses. Oh, I already forgot my numbers. 28.4 minus 26. So let's go here. 28.4 minus 26 divided by 4.9 divided by the square root of 13. And let me close off my parentheses here. Let's hit enter. And I'm coming up with a 1.77. I won't want to say they're going to ask us to round it to 2 decimal places. So 1.77. Okay. So yeah, 2 decimal places, so 1.77. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to my original problem. Right here, I'm going to type in 1.77. Okay, we got that part. Now, what they're asking us to find is they're asking us to find the p-value of the test statistic. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this, y'all, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. Let me get my slide here going again. Let me come back over here. Let's upload that picture. Okay, so I'm going to draw a rough sketch of what it is we're looking at. So remember, we are, even though it's normally distributed, since we don't have the population standard deviation and we just have the sample standard deviation, remember what it said? Our claim was mu was not equal to 26. So we came up with 2 values, 1.77, and there would be another one, 1.77 negative, right? And what we're trying to figure out is, what is the area over there? Since this is a two-tailed test, and the reason I know it's a two-tailed test, y'all, is my HA. When it's not equal to, then we're looking at these 2 regions over here, okay? And what we're trying to find is we're trying to find the p-value, which means what's the area under this blue part and under that blue part. Now, I can't use like the normal CDF because we don't have a normal thing here. We have we can do that when we have the population standard deviation, but we don't have that in this case. We have the sample standard deviation. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this part, y'all, on my calculator. I'm going to grab my calculator app right here. I'm going to go to Stat, and I'm going to go to Tests, and I'm going to do the t-test, okay? So remember, we have a value of mu. So my value of mu in this case was, let's see, what was mu? 26. So I'm going to put 26 right here. My x bar happened to be 28.4. I think that's what it says right here. Yeah, 28.4. So my x bar is at 28.4. My s was 4.9. My n was 13. I want you to look over here on the bottom, kind of towards the middle. We have mu is not equal to. We have these kind of different things here, right? This is a two-tailed test, so I got to use that value right there, okay? I want you to look at something. I'm actually going to take a screenshot of this real quick, y'all. And I'm going to upload it into my next slide right here. Okay, and I'm going to do this in red because I think it'll come up better. Where's the red? There we go. Look at my value of t. If I round to 2 decimal places, 1.77, that's the same value we got earlier, right? Okay, for the p-value, it's right here. In the directions, they actually are asking us to go to 3 decimal places. So here I would put 0.103. So when I come back to my original problem right here, y'all, if you notice it says 3 decimal places, I'm going to type in 0.103. I'm going to hit enter, and we got it, right? Okay, so now we got to figure out, do we reject, fail to reject? What happens here? So let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back to my notes one more time, and I am going to upload this little piece right here. Okay, so remember, we knew that our claim was our alternate, right? So this is where we're at. Then we have to decide, are we rejecting or are we failing to reject? So our P was a 0.103. So P was 0.103. I'm going to go back and say, what was our alpha in this case? Alpha is 0.10. So alpha is 0.10. So is P smaller than alpha? We're asking ourselves, is 0.103 smaller than or equal to 0.10? No, it isn't, because 0.103 is actually bigger than 0.0. So we're going to fail to reject, right? So we're going to say, look, we're going to fail to reject. So we're going to fail to reject because there is not enough evidence to support the claim. So I'm going to come back to my original problem, and I'm going to say I'm going to fail to reject because there is not enough evidence to support the claim, choice D. I'm going to check it, and we got it.